Can you believe it? I mean, 2-3 years ago we were talking 300-400 megahertz. Now we're at 1,000 hertz and more for processor speeds, gigahertz processors. You may be tempted to run out and buy the very fastest chip on the market, but do you really need to pay for all that speed? To find out, let's check in with our friends at PC Magazine. Joining us on the phone right now, Jamie Basales. He's senior editor at PC Mag, live from the labs in New York, New York. Hello, Jamie.
Hello, how are you?
I'm jealous because you guys, you just get the latest, greatest stuff and you get to test it.
Oh, yeah, we do.
That's cool. What's the fastest chip out there right now, consumer level?
Consumer level, let's see. I'm going to go
It's
out on a
got to be the
limb here.
Pentium 4, right? The 1.5, is it 1.5 gigahertz?
1.5 gig is right now the fastest.
But, the reason you're going out on a limb is because it changes every minute.
It changes every minute, and, fastest number-wise does not add up to fastest in the lab when we run our application benchmark.
That is a very good point. We're going to get to those benchmarks in just a second, but let's first say, bottom line, do people really need to get the latest, greatest chip? Should they just, to protect their investment, go out and buy the fastest chip out there? That's what Andy Grove says you should do.
Right, and I can see why.
Yeah, he ran Intel.
My opinion is that you don't need to go spend a lot of money on the fastest.
Okay.
Because the ones that are just below that megahertz level are significantly cheaper. The machine will be $300 to $400 to $500 cheaper, and you're just giving up 2 or 3 percentage points in performance, in real-world performance.
It's the pricing is an elbow, I always thought, where there's a growth up to the next to last or next to fastest processor, then whoosh, the fastest one is a lot more expensive.
Right. Well, they need to recoup their investment. And,
but as you point out, that's only in price, not in performance. You don't get that big jump in performance, do you?
No, you don't.
Let's talk about first the low end, which would be the Intel Celeron.
Correct.
Which has been revved up and is now quite fast, and the AMD Duron.
Right.
When you can head-to-head those, they're comparable in speed?
Actually, when we head-to-head them, if we go megahertz level to megahertz level, AMD's Duron, tick for tick, is faster than Celeron.
A lot faster, 10%, 5%?
About 10%.
Well, that's significant.
Yes, Celeron's working on a much older core.
Right.
And Duron is a newly revamped core, so they're getting to use the latest technology in it. And
does the Duron beat the Celeron price point as well?
It depends on what day of the week it is.
Right. They're kind of racing neck and neck.
Exactly. Okay. Intel knows that the Duron is faster than the Celeron. So when the Duron lowers its price, Intel lowers the Celeron price. And
well, so it sounds like at that level, go Duron. There's just no question about it. Now let's go to the higher level where we're faced with an AMD Thunderbird, a Pentium 3, and of course the latest Intel chip, the Pentium 4. Let's talk about the Pentium 4. Is the Pentium 4 a lot faster than the Pentium 3 and the Thunderbird?
The Pentium 4 is a lot faster than the Pentium 3. For typical business applications, though, it's not faster than AMD's Athlon Thunderbird.
So Intel has, in effect, outpaced itself, but not the competition.
Correct.
Oops.
The Pentium 4 is really a forward-looking chip. It's built for software that isn't widely available yet.
So
there are certain high-end applications, certain functions in, say, Photoshop, certain video editing applications, and certain real bleeding-edge games that are built with the Pentium 4 in mind and can take advantage of some of the architecture of the Pentium 4, and you do see a speed increase there. But if you're talking typical business applications, PowerPoint, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, our tests show that a 1.2 gigahertz Athlon married to DDR memory outpaces the Pentium 4 with RAM bus.
That's what we've been finding as well. And it's a lot cheaper.
Lot cheaper.
Is there anybody who should buy a Pentium 4?
Yes. Image editors who use Photoshop and the other high-end applications, video editors, and some of the real bleeding-edge gamers who are interested in the titles that take advantage of the Pentium 4 new instructions. Those people should spend the extra money and get a Pentium 4. Well,
we're going to have you back because Intel's not done with the Pentium 4, obviously. They've got the P7 Merced chip coming out. I guess it's the Itanium we call it. And of course, AMD's not going to be left behind. They've got a new chip. What's the code name for the new AMD chip? I've forgotten.
I can't think of it
but
either.
It's clearly both sides are racing. But the bottom line for consumers is you don't have to get the fastest. You still get great speed in the second tier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jamie, I thank you. Jamie Basales, a senior editor from PC Magazine. If you want to know more about this stuff, be sure to pick up a copy of the January 16th issue of PC Mag. All the CPU tests are in there, and really benchmarks, the numbers, the raw hard numbers. That's what you need to see to be able to tell the difference.